Crawl before you ball, and then take a little bit of the money and save
Crawl
it, and then
before
do
you
something
ball, because wealth whispers and money jingle jangles and screams.
Buffie Purselle and Andycohen.
Hey y'all, hey, happy new year. How y'all doing? We're gonna let this build a little bit. Let me go through and then I'm get popping because I only have an hour and my moderator only has an hour. We got other meetings today, but I keep getting this question on my TikTok where I have about 270,000 followers and I need to address it because I love my TikTok fam. I love all my social media, but TikTok really holds me down. Let's see. Hey, Brittany Holmes. Thank you. How sweet of you. That's so kind of you to say. Hey, Hoover fan. Hey, KK Savage. Hey, Coco Shirley Seas. Child, they always talking some ish, honey. Hey, Ms. E. Happy New Year to you too. You mean a dentist? I'm not addressing them. I'm answering people want to know what happened to me because you know what? Really, I haven't really. People think I keep talking about it, but I really haven't told y'all nothing about really what happened. I'm Happy New Year, Sandra. Hey, pretty Miss G. Happy New Year. Happy Monday. Happy 2021. Hey, TLW 11217. Hey, really BTV. Hey, Delicia Oglesby. Hey, y'all. Hey, we're going to let it build a little bit. I love that y'all picking up my monikers for these people. It's not about her. I ain't studying her, child. Let her be her. Do you, girl. Make your money. You built your YouTube page off of talking ish about people. Keep doing it, honey. Happy New Year. And y'all, if you want to ask me questions today, we want you to click on the link, join us live. My disclaimer is this. If you follow my social media, you know that I actually pin the comments that I don't like because it's a different perspective and I want to see what everybody's saying about it. It's not to like put the people under the bus or anything like that. It's just to see if some of my followers and friends agree with the person. So if you disagree with me, and I'm actually going to read some of the stuff from my my social media today, and I'm going to address it because this is my platform and I'm allowed to do that on my platform. I was not allowed to do it on their platform. Hey, thank you. This is exactly the point. People are like, why is she still talking? Child, I ain't begun to talk, y'all. I'm going to share all the tea today as long as I got time. I love Sean Brooks too. I've known him forever. He's family. Thank y'all. David is the absolute best. I don't know how I conned him into marrying me because I'm a hot goddamn mess. Hey, Chris. Hey, Angela. So, okay, y'all. So he got me some more Krispy Kreme donuts. You're right. Thank you for thinking this is a good idea. It's my time to say. So I'm going to read this. And I don't know what happens when I go out of here because I'm old. Hold on, y'all. Hopefully y'all still see me. I have a platform that I can use to discuss what I want, when I want, and how I want. I am open to hearing others' opinions as long as they are respectful while doing it. So, you know, I wasn't really allowed or permitted to say my piece while it's on that show. So I'm going to do it now. And I'm okay if you disagree with me. So let's see. First, could you see me, TT, when I was doing that? Okay, so first things first, I want to address the question at hand. And so this is how the show is going to be organized today because I've got a business Zoom meeting at 2. And so I don't have much time. And so it needs to be a little bit more organized. I will start by answering the question that's posed by many of my followers on TikTok. And the question was Andy Cohen terrible to you while you were on that show, or was it just the jealous women? So Andy Cohen was not terrible to me. I only met Andy one time. And it was at the reunion. He came into my dressing room and greeted me and, said, you came into the season hot. You had a good season, and, it was pretty much like, I don't think you're going to have a problem at the reunion. My issue with Andy is that I was never asked to be on Watch What Happens Live, but he discussed me many times on his show. And he invited the elder OBGYN on several times and allowed her the platform to discuss what she did to me. And so that meant they controlled the narrative, right? Because of all that people are hearing. And then if the face of Bravo is bringing on the who should have been the villain of the show, on his show to say her side of it, but never me, then that puts me in a bad position. And I don't want to hear that, well, he doesn't have friends on the show. Okay, so let's just be real. I was a friend on that show, Down to the Medicine, right? But never have they on that show. I ain't talking about Marlo and other Bravo shows, or Tanya, or all these other people who are friends who have a bigger expanded role. Never have you seen a friend on that show Down to the Medicine who had a season like I did. And so much so that a lot of people thought I was main cast. I was not main cast. I didn't agree to be main cast. That was not offered to me. I didn't want it. I came on that show thinking I was going to be a friend like Janice, like that other dentist, and like everybody else whose names y'all don't remember. Because I thought I was going to show up to a couple of parties, look cute, and maybe get a quick little one-liner in. And I ended up being a friend who had 3 storylines. I essentially came up with 2 episodes of the show. I did my Fab and Frugal party, which was my idea, not productions. I paid for it. And then also did the spa day to try to bring the ladies together, which I also paid for. What friend on that show ever you seen do all that? I was in 15 of the, I think, 16 episodes and all 3 of the reunion. So why would he not have me come on the show? I was a central part of that show. The other thing is Andy was publishing the elder OBGYN's book. So how could I be treated fairly? It was under his imprint. So it wasn't a good time to have that book coming out by a credible OBGYN, a positive book about women being in control of their reproductive rights and, positivity about women and their bodies, when she did a public autopsy of my uterus and then shamed me because I told her I didn't like it. I don't think you can really have an argument with that. My dog even agrees with me. And then the other reason I have an issue with the producers, the network, and Andy, and I don't know if Andy had any say in this or not, but I asked when they tried to prep me for the reunion to allow me to speak first about what it is that happened to me on their show, given that they gave her all of the leverage to talk everywhere else, the whole damn media press tour that they set up. But I never was afforded the opportunity to discuss what happened to me in my own words at the reunion. And they didn't do that. They allowed her to give her magnanimous legal statement, written, Academy Award winning apology. And so what am I supposed to do after she does all that and tries to make it seem like some tears was coming down and she really was remorseful? I feel she was remorseful for the public backlash she got when I did an op-ed about what had happened to me. So, I play chess, not connect 4, and that was why I wanted to speak first. And I wasn't given an opportunity, which was not fair. And so, of course, I'm just going to say, sure. Okay, thanks. Because they don't want to hear my side. They have favorites. They had the people they invested a lot of money in. And so the narrative was to discredit me and make me look like I was a mental case for crying about having lost 6 babies. And for the fact that I just didn't shut up and take it when she said what she said. And then the girls did whatever I didn't receive any support from anybody but Mariah, Toya, and the younger OBGYN did her job in making it look like she was supporting me. All right. So next I'm going to address some of your questions, social media stuff, and we'll go from there. Okay. So, that's what I'm gonna say about that. I got that out. I feel great. That's cathartic. Okay, so I want to go through one thing, and then I see some people in the back room, and I'm going to let y'all talk. So someone said that it was difficult to watch. Hold on, let me just find the thing because I was trying to paraphrase, and I'm gonna say exactly what this person said because ain't nobody gonna say I paraphrased them. Hold on, y'all. The person said, hold on, give me a second, patience. Be gifted with patience. Be gifted with patience. Patience, patience, patience. I didn't block him. I thought I pinned it. Okay, I can't find it. Essentially, the person said it was difficult. He said he liked me on the show, but it became difficult to watch me on the show because all the women had to walk on eggshells because of my crying. Twice. See, all that people remember is the last episode. And people don't fully know what happened to me the last episode or the other times I cried. So I'm about to be real messy, and let's see. So first of all, did I cry here? Y'all see this up there? Did I cry when I threw the party for them? Nope. I got in a whole fight with Toya and then went to her birthday party and was like, what? Hey, here go your birthday present, girl. How you doing? And she started a fight with me and I ended it. Period. Didn't cry then. Here go my receipts. Okay. Number 2. Did I cry in Mexico? Or was I the girl in a skimpy bathing suit jumping around dancing and having fun? Was I also the girl who, when she who ain't got no board certifications, was crying because she chose to leave her children to go pursue a master's in public health? I went to comfort her when everybody else sat there behind the table because they didn't want to leave the camera shot. I didn't know the cameras was gonna follow me. I got up because I'm an empath and a human, and I saw somebody crying because their husband was dismissing her, whether it was real or not. In the moment, I felt like she was in pain. And I went and held her hand and let her cry and speak to me. I didn't say, suck it up. I've had a miscarriage too, like she did to me. I didn't say, suck it up. I had to change careers too. I listened to her because I'm a kind person, but it's okay. Did I cry when we were in Mexico and the trout mouthed she who wears dentures masquerading as veneers, said, which they cut out, your uterus don't work. Do it, Buffy? Jackie didn't lie. Did I cry? No, I cussed that bitch the fuck out is what I did. And then she went on her YouTube and lied and told people that I did not, that it was worse. It was worse. I went into her ass. It was worse from me. Release the tapes, Bravo. Release the proof, honeys. Did she cry then? When I had no support at the table and the one who was supposed to be my friend checked me. Not the elder OBGYN, when I simply said, I didn't appreciate you saying I was infertile at your event to sell a book. That was all I said. Actually, what I just said was meaner. I actually said, I just didn't like you saying I was infertile at that table. Very calm and resolute. And the person that's my mama's age is the one that lost her damn mind. And then the one that was supposed to be that I was the friend of who brought me on the show said, Buffy, calm down. Buffy, calm down. After I cussed out Heavenly, that's when I needed to calm down. Oh, I said her name, hallelujah. Did I calm down? So anyway, I had no support from anyone except my husband and Toya and Eugene. Toya and Eugene tried to speak up and the elder OBGYN shut them down because she didn't want to hear it because she had been caught. You know, did I cry? Let me show y'all this. Did I cry at her event? When she told 200 strangers that I couldn't bear children for my husband, that I was barren, that I didn't produce fruit or anything plentiful in this world. Nope. I showed empathy for her and was the debutante my mother raised me to be. And I sucked it up and I waited for her to apologize to me, which didn't happen until they told her ass to. Okay. She had my phone number. She could text me, she could DM me and ask me where I got my damn Restoration Hardware couch from, but she couldn't text or DM me and say, girl, let's go to lunch, let me talk. I'm so sorry that just slipped out. I messed up. Never happened. That's why I know it wasn't real. For all y'all that's like, she didn't do it with malicious intent. It just happened to me, okay? All right. Did I cry when this one said I was fat at the reunion? No, I didn't. I don't care about that. I was jumping around in bathing suits the whole season. I like all these rolls and dumps and dimplings and ass and boobs, and so does my man. So when did I cry then? But don't let me get into her. I showed empathy because I could have said to her, you're mad at me because you had to have 15 surgeries to transform into the Decepticon that we see before us now to get on the show. See, when somebody asked me to lose 20 pounds, and I ain't gonna say who, somebody asked me, would you lose 20 pounds, Buffy? And I said, no. If you keep asking me, I'll gain 35. See, I didn't fall for the okie doke. I said, you take me as I am or you don't have me. But she went and transformed so she could get on the show. Now that's documented. And guess who helped to get on the show? The one who created it. And then she turned on her. But I digress. But I'm a crybaby. Did I cry at this event, the spa day, where I spent my coins to throw them bras a spa day to try to bring the ladies back together, right? Production didn't pay for that. It wasn't production's idea, it was mine. See, she already producing, honey. She produced 2 episodes. The friend paid for 8 massage therapists. Even them white girls in Beverly Hills be sharing one massage therapist when they go on girls trips. Have y'all ever noticed that? They like, okay, I'm gonna take my turn next. I made sure that the black queens on the show I was on didn't have to share. I hired 8 massage therapists. Now Toya took up 4 of them, and I don't blame her. Toya took 4 of them, and I don't blame her. But there was no thanks for that. Then they complained about the food, even though when I asked before what kind of food y'all want, it was all that, a chopped salad. And then the elder OBGYN and the rest of them ended up saying, well, we hungry. Can you get us some fried chicken? Well, quit fronting like you healthy. That's all I'm saying. This should have been real. All right. Did I cry in Savannah? No, I didn't. I was kind. And when they poisoned Mariah and gave her pork the day before Ramadan, I ordered Mariah some food so she could eat. That's the kind of person I am. And when they all ganged up on Toya at the table, when Toya was saying she was proud that this was the first time she could be on a mortgage loan with her husband, and all of them except for Mariah said, well, I'll say the younger OBGYN didn't join in, but the rest of them said, well, that ain't nothing. Everybody got credit. That ain't a big deal. I was the one at the table, the new girl, who said, shame on y'all. She should be proud if she's on the mortgage with her husband, if it's the first time that she can do that. Why would you shame her? That is something worth celebrating, but they didn't show that. So when did I cry? This is when I cried. When it was the end of hell, and I had the expectation that I was going to be a friend on the show, which meant I thought I was going to show up to a couple of events wearing a cute outfit, frugal outfit, maybe get a one-liner in, and that's about it. I didn't expect them to base their whole season on trying to break me. Like, I went into green screen confessionals and they literally would say, well, we ain't gonna let you leave until you cry. So did you have to get a DNC, Buffy, after you had your 5th miscarriage or your 6th miscarriage? Would you cry if you had to talk about that stuff over and over again and you realize that it's for entertainment purposes and nobody cares about you? Would you cry? I'm just curious. Would you cry at this evening when you go to a party and you think you're going to support your friend Toya and her new house and her beautiful accomplishment of getting her dream home, which my husband and I were genuinely happy for them and still are. And I hope she doesn't sell it because she worked hard for it. Would you cry if you get there and you walking around and you notice that 3 cameras are following you and it's like, I thought this was about Toya. I thought I was going to have fun that night and support my friend. But all the cameras following you around everywhere. And you go up to Mariah and you're like, what's going on? And Mariah shuns me away. And I'm friends with Mariah. And she later told me she thought that I was setting her up. And I don't blame her because none of them bras are worth, they do set people up for a check. She didn't know me yet. And I went to her and I was trying to talk to her and she was like, yeah, go. And then I go and I'm gonna wrap up soon. I ain't had time to say what I want to say about all this. But the way that night went down was I didn't realize I was being set up to be their season finale. I didn't. I was naive in that regard. And so I got dragged over by Simone, I'm gonna say her name, to give Jackie, I'm gonna say her name, another opportunity to clean up the mess that she had made for herself. It was never about apologizing to me. It was always about cleaning up the mess she made in her pristine image that she has perfectly curated over the past 7 years for y'all, 8 years. It was never about my feelings. And what happened was I was dragged over to her and I was like, Simone, why would I want an apology from a sociopath? They don't mean it. I read people fantastically well. I knew who Simone was from the beginning, but I just was hoping she would change. And so anyway, I went over there and Jackie began her telling me about her having miscarriages and her struggle and her this and her that. And I was quiet. Meanwhile, producers were running around with iPads saying, Buffy, tell her your pain, tell her your story. And I'm like, nope. So she kept talking. This went on for about 7 minutes. And finally she said to me, well, Buffy, a conversation is meant to be had with two people. And I said, well, are you finished speaking? Because I was raised to not interrupt people when they speak. They cut that out. She was taken aback and then was silent. And I said, I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I mean, it's fine. We're good. It's, fine. And they just kept pushing and kept pushing. And I said, okay, I started to tell my story. She interrupted me when I said, I've lost many babies. She said, so have I. I said, it was mentally draining for me. I had lupus and that was part of it. And she said, oh, I had breast cancer. And so then I said, well, if this is a competition between the two of us, why can't you asked me to tell you my story. They asked me to tell you my story. Why can't you be quiet and witness me in this moment and be a friend or just a human being or a real OBGYN? Can't you turn on the robotic simulation of empathy just for this moment? Because I'm trying to help you actually repair your image, but it just wasn't in her. And so I walked away upset at just women in general and why I have kept myself in the bubble that I have where I don't allow myself around a lot of women. And when I did cry the other time, when everybody made fun of me in Savannah at the table and I shared that I haven't had that many women friends, it wasn't that there was a lack of female friends. It was that I always get stabbed in the back, that in the end, I see that there's some ulterior motive. And so I have pulled myself back. But anyway, I went to the bathroom. Jackie and Simone followed me. Jackie then walked away. Simone was acting that she was my friend and came in the bathroom with me. And yes, I had a mental breakdown. It was too much for me. I did. I broke all the way down. And what further caused the rift and why I stopped answering the phones and wasn't talking to Simone, it is not what y'all think. It's not because I decided not to come back to that show. It was because I told my mom later that Simone had my back and that they were knocking on the door, the camera people, and she wouldn't let them in. And I told my mom that. Simone said, ha, girl, no, they didn't. I opened the door and pointed them in the corner so they could get a good shot. We're on a TV show. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't mess with her. One of the reasons. And she knows the other. And so my name better not be mentioned in a new season unless it's Buffy's a lovely person or I'm going to talk about the other reason that she don't want me to talk about. Monique got a binder. I have audio recordings because guess what? Want to know why Jocelyn was on the show? Because Jocelyn hipped me to the reality TV game. So while y'all thought I was crazy, I knew to protect myself, and I did. So don't try it or it's going to be some real shit. Know that. Okay. Career ending shit. Anyway, then when I went, I'm almost finished. I'm going to wrap up really, BTV. You've been waiting a long time. I see you, girl. Then I tried to leave. They wouldn't let me. My car was blocked in. For all y'all saying, you tried to ruin Toya's party. No, I didn't. I tried to leave when I was upset. I wasn't allowed to leave. Toya was told to run out there and get me, or she did it on her own because Toya is a nice person. And I said, okay, sure. So I came back in and we were about to have a really lovely girlfriend moment. Toya was like, I'm about to fix your makeup because I ain't going to have your makeup artist mad with me. But you look, because you've been crying and you look so pretty. She was like, let me go get some champagne. And she took out her makeup, and it was about to be a great moment. But that wasn't what they wanted. They don't want that. And so all of a sudden, I see Simone emerge, and I'm thinking, okay, whatever. And then I see Mariah come down, and she said, Dave said that I was down there, and is it okay? Mariah actually asked me, is it okay for me to come in? And I said, sure. And then all of a sudden I hear stomp, stomp, stomp. Somebody don't know how to walk in damn heels. Stomping down the stairs, hollering, she crying again? What? And it was she who ain't board certified in nothing. Contessa. To my knowledge. And Contessa, you might want to be careful, darling, because the joke with all those doctors on that show is, what does a doctor do when she can't pass her board? She get an MPH. And that's your friends saying that. So I'm just going to let you know, darling. Comes down, shakes me, tells me, shames me for crying about the loss of 6 babies. I've lost 7 now. And, tells me, we've all had miscarriages. Suck it up. Well, guess what, Contessa? You got 3 beautiful babies at home to go to after your miscarriages. I have none. So you can't compare your situation to mine. All I got was a bill from the doctors to pay for my IVF that didn't work. And where your miscarriages are painful, and I empathize with you, don't try to compare your situation to mine, because there is no comparison. And for the people who tried to come for me and tell me, well, why don't you adopt? You try adopting when you married to a white man in Atlanta, Georgia. Since y'all know everything, it's so easy to adopt. It's not. There's still real racism and bias in this state, in this country, in this world. Okay. So the other thing that she who ain't board certified nowhere said to me was, I'm gonna rock you to sleep like the baby you'll never have. Everybody in here has a baby but you. Would you cry? When you know you're going to catch a case if you whoop somebody's ass and you actually one of the ones who actually got some real assets to lose. Crying kept me out of jail that night, and I'd do it again. All right, so, woo! That was cathartic, honey. Drink my... And yes, I cleaned the lid. Woo, child. I got it off my chest. That makes me feel so much better, y'all. You've heard my side. There's more, but I ain't gonna tell them unless they try me, because it'll ruin people. And I still care about Black women. And I still, if y'all like the show, still watch it. You know what I mean? I want them to keep their checks. I don't want nobody checks to end. And don't let them fool you. They need them checks. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But I just I'm not somebody that's gonna sell my soul for the devil. Louis is an emotional support dog, and so he knows that was painful for me to say, and that's why he's whining. So, all right, we're gonna get into it now. Let's see. All right. Hey, girl. Hey, you've been so kind and quiet.
No, I'm listening. So I reviewed the show. I'm a reviewer, and I reviewed the show, and I reviewed that season. And I was up and down with you, I'll be honest. But by the end of the season, I was so pissed off at that ending. And to hear that it was worse than even what I saw, that I'm sitting here listening and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that is so ridiculous. 2 things really quick, because I was listening because I was like, I'm a teacher, so I have class in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
But no, it's not your fault, it's mine. But 2 things I wanted to just ask you. One, something you just said that was really interesting about the adoption process. I don't know how painful that is for you to speak on, but is that something you would ever think about discussing on your channel? Because I think a lot of people do think it's just easy. I have friends who've dealt with infidelity. I mean, Lord, not infidelity, infertility. And first of all, IVF isn't easy. It is a hard process. It is an expensive process. And adoption isn't as easy as people think. And so I don't know if that's something that you would be interested in speaking on
have me on your show and I'll talk about it.
Well, that was going to be my second question.
Yes, I'll do it. I'm always supporting a Black queen, honey. Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm sending you an email as soon as I get out of class.
Yes, please do. I'll come on your show and talk about it. I'll even get Dr. Purselle to come on.
Oh, that would be wonderful. But thank you so much. But I just thank you for sharing your story. I know you came on to talk about Andy and everything, and I think
I said what I wanted to say about Andy. I'm done with his ass.
Well, because I'm gonna speak on it later on tonight. After I always watch All About the Tea on Monday, so when y'all get off, I'll do my live. But I always feel like, which I love you on there, by the way.
I can't do it today because I gotta work, but still watch.
I'm still gonna watch. But I find it interesting that when other housewives blame editing, he's quick to say, well, you can't blame editing, and you said it, so we only show what happened, and you can't blame. But when it's you with the backlash, now all of a sudden, well, they edited all that out.
Right, they edited. I actually came for her. Yeah. It ain't fun when it's on you, honey. It's not.
Mm-hmm. It's fun when the rabbit got the gun. So I just wanted to just say that. But thank you for having me on, and I absolutely will. I'm walking right into my class, but when I get done with my churn,
tell the babies I said, hey, have a good school day.
I sure will, and they probably watch Married to Medicine, so I'm gonna let them know I was talking to you.
All right, thank you. Right. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Follow up though with my team. I will come.
I will. Absolutely.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ooh, Sunshine. I like your name. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, that's my
I can't hear you,
name. I had to make it that way.
Oh, okay. Louis, calm down. Sorry about Louis barking, y'all, but my children, they're around.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Listen, first of all, Buffy, first of all, I adore you because you give authenticity. You don't give anything else but Buffy. I don't see you trying to pretend like, the other ladies. You are who you are, and you stand in that interracial relationship and all. That is fantastic coming from the South. Plus, you're smart. I'm in real estate. I honor smart Black women because that, I ain't gonna say it's a rarity, but clearly based on these conversations. So my concern is how much, I don't want to say it's too much, but what are the boundaries in reality TV? Because I, like everybody else, watched these shows develop and saw this because I'm a soap opera fan. And it was about shopping and fun and girlfriend kikis and spas and stuff and galas. Now it seems to be about how far I can trash you, how far I can take it. When you're in somebody's womb, I have a major problem with that. I don't know. How much is too much? Where are those boundaries? Because I mentioned this on the other show. When you start talking about people's kids, you can say a slick thing about somebody's husband. We got that. That's just girlfriend stuff. And it's right for you to check them. But kids, and let alone unborn kids, how much is too much? What are the boundaries? What do they say to you guys about, are you willing to share this or not? And also, what's your relationship with Mariah right now? Because I love her.
So nothing was said to me about how much. The only thing they ever asked me about was I okay with sharing was my when they found out that about my lump in my breast because I couldn't show up to an event. So I said, I can't come because I got a doctor's appointment. And they were like, oh, about what? And I was like, oh, I got this lump, just being crazy, talking, not thinking, oh, they about to use this as a damn potential storyline. And then they're like, would you be okay with sharing that? And so, other than that, they didn't ask me if I was okay with sharing my fertility journey until after she did what she did. And so, I don't know if it was planned or if I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not gonna blame production that much.
So real quick follow-up question to that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but if you had shared that, would they have taken care of medical expenses?
I don't know, but I don't need them to.
I'm not saying that you would, but I mean, what's the incentive to share inside your womb? I mean, if you're not paying for it,
she didn't have a storyline, and I became her storyline. If you think about it, she boring.
I ain't got to think about her being boring. She been boring,
right? And so I gave her best year ever. You know what I mean? It's the truth. And what was the other thing I was gonna say? Mariah and I are very good friends. I talked to her the other day. Mariah was apprehensive about being friends with me from the beginning, and she later told, because I was like, "Girl, why you being so standoffish?" She told me later, because we had the most in common, interracial marriage. Even though people act like she ain't in no interracial marriage just because they both brown, but it's an interracial marriage, right? And oh, somebody. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by comments. But she said the reason is because she knew the minute we became close, I would be treated like her, and that's what happened.
I think that's why, and I'm wrapping up now because I know you got other people, but I think that's why for me, the Monique situation, the Nene situation, the Mariah situation is so triggering. I've been through that, not on television, clearly, but I've been the target because you need a come up. How do we get here? We all, did whatever we did. We're all working women. There's enough path for everyone. Why do we have to tear one another down? But it's just too intrusive for me. I like
I feel like she started that they had a very good opportunity to have powerful, meaningful TV come out of something really bad. Because I am, despite what people think, a forgiving person. If somebody is truly apologetic about what happened, and that didn't happen, I got no support from anyone except Toya and Mariah. And Simone pretended to support me. She was doing her job, so I can't really be mad at her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
I would like to
go ahead.
Go ahead. I would like to ask you, if I film an interview session, I would like to present that to you. Do you have an email address that's listed somewhere I can present? Because I'd like to have you guys on to tell your side of reality television.
Sure. It's hola at BuffieLLC.com. TT will put it in the comments right now. My assistant.
Well, thanks for taking the call.
Thank you so much. You have a good day, and thanks for your patience.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, let me have it. Somebody let me have it. Y'all ain't got to all be Team Buffie. I like all perspectives.
But why should we let you have it when you sitting up here telling your truth?
I'm just saying, some people may not agree with me, and I'm okay with that. I don't want y'all to, if you want to say, girl, use whatever, feel free on my platform to do so as long as you're respectful. But anyway, how you doing? Thank you for your patience. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, beautiful. But I'm just sitting here, on an early Monday afternoon, and I'm just trying not to cry, number one, because that's how I am. I'm empathic like that myself. And I just, I'm thinking about my best friend at the time. Wait, hold on. Here I go. My best. She went through so much, and she didn't have, what is it, a miscarriage per se, but she gave birth and the baby was stillborn. And I literally watched what that did to her. What that did to her. And and Wendy, I remember Wendy Williams was talking about how she had two 5-month miscarriages, and and how she had to kind of claw her way back to sanity for that. And you said 7. So like at the time, and I don't know or want you to get into at what month you had the miscarriages or whatever, but to just to be excited, number one, and then start the planning, number two, and then start well, we're gonna want the nursery to look like this, and maybe we can buy this, and I always like this name for a girl and that name for a boy, and then to just have that happen 7 times in a row, and then to still be bright like you are, and be smiling and laughing. That's nothing but God, and a testament to who you are as a person, and that's why I think a lot of people really love and appreciate you. And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your behind or anything, but it's just like wow. Wow. And then on top of it, you get people who are doing these things just for a check, saying like these nasty, horrible things for a check and for camera time. And it's like, you got to actually see the behind the curtain of what goes on for these shows, and it's just like wow, like before, like the people will always say, like these reality shows were about, watching how the quote unquote other half lives, and how it's supposed to be fun, and take a trip here, take a trip there, but it's now, to me, devolved into like these prime time soaps of the 80s and the 90s, of the likes of Dynasty and
Mhm.
Falcon's Crest, and Melrose Place and all that mess. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like yeah, this is quote unquote reality TV, but at the end of the day, we're not playing characters per se. We're still real people, and we have to go home and deal and live with the repercussions of what you producers are orchestrating, and what you have these sellouts, cop into and taking part of. And it's crazy to me, because at the end of the day, the show's not going to be on forever. You can be replaced at the drop of a dime, and they just go on about their business, and then you have to sit here and live with the effects of it. I just
And then watch it again a year later when it airs, which is really
exactly.
traumatizes you. And then look at the social media slant of you're the like somebody who was the villain. They made me the villain when all I did was say ouch. When a public autopsy of my non-functioning uterus was displayed on television by an OBGYN, you
I
know.
don't and I don't like it when you say my non-functioning uterus is
Well, that's what they
functioning, but
it's a
it's
play on
it's like,
it's a play on words. They said. It's what the dentist said. But you're right. I shouldn't say that.
yeah, because it's like your blessing is somewhere, and it's I just think that you using your light, your voice, your presence, your story, your journey. It's I don't want to say, well, it's like what Oprah says when she was doing her show, like you going through what you going through in your personal life and publicly on national television. You were a light for somebody. I don't somebody in this world, somebody who was watching, you were a light, like, for someone who did have, say, that one miscarriage, or those two miscarriages, or those three miscarriages, or that one stillborn. That I'm still here. I'm still here. And and I'm you one day you might get that rainbow baby. And that's my prayer for you, that you do get that rainbow baby. And I I just like wow. Just like
I,
wow.
I I appreciate you, and I want you to give your friend my love because that's some
Well,
pain.
we're not friends no more. She stopped speaking to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no problem. It was just that, our the chapter in each of our books, and our it ended. No
Yeah,
heart, no. I wish her no ill will. She and just be go forth and be blessed.
I need people like you in my life, honey.
I'm what you call I'm what you call real. I'm what you
Yes,
call
honey. Me
100%
too. Real,
real.
real.
I see no purpose in being fake,
I agree.
you
I
know? And a lot of these things that I know for a fact, because I live here in New York, and I'm sort of on touching the industry, via fashion, via entertainment, because I've done some work in both.
Mhm.
And like I said, living in New York, and I've been around famous people. Like, money does not guarantee happiness.
No, it's a
Number
social
one.
construct. It really is not real. Somebody said this
Exactly.
paper means something, and so therefore we assign value to it. Just like people shun me because I curse, and I'm just like, I don't subscribe to because somebody said this word is something you shouldn't say.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But
And it's just like, I know for a fact that when you sell your soul, you can't dictate the terms of the contract, because when the devil comes to collect, the devil collects.
yep. And he's coming home to collect right now on a lot of them. But I
Exactly. So,
my
because
little
you saw the what is it? The LA version of the show got canceled,
Mhm.
and these bros over here in Atlanta are really tap dancing for this one to not be canceled
Mhm.
because didn't they move like time slots and this, that, and the other, and like
I don't know, but they need to do right by Mariah, or everything they think about is gonna fail. I know that she
ooh,
created it, but I
I know
appreciate
that's right.
that room is getting full. Thank you so much for your time and for your patience and waiting. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, gorgeous. Bye
Hey,
bye.
bye bye. Thank you. Hey, Delicia, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm in the doctor's office with my mom. I'm so
Oh, take
sorry. I will, but I just want you to know. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. I just want you to know that I truly love you. Have nothing but respect for you. Hate everything that happened to you. Will never watch that show ever again. Because, like I said, to be so petty and then come across like you're so high and mighty and pious, that really makes me sick. Really makes me sick. You are a sweet person. You're a real woman, and I'll have nothing but love and respect for you. And I do not like the way things went at all.
I could be petty and messy too now. I just want to make that disclaimer. I ain't perfect.
And you should have been. You should have been. I was surprised that you kept your sanity all this time. You should have went off on a couple of people because they needed it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Take care of your mama like a good daughter.
I sure will.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Luli, why are you crying, Luli? Okay, we're gonna add Tyler. Oh no, wait, this is Georgia. Hi, Georgia.
Hi,
Tyler,
Buffy. How are
I
you?
clicked on you. I don't know why it didn't come on, but I'm gonna come back for you, Tyler. Hey, Georgia.
How are you, gorgeous?
I'm good. How are you, gorgeous? Happy New Year.
Yes, I just wanted to get on and let you know I have a few friends in Atlanta, and one of my friends is a dentist and happened to have gone to school with some of the other people. And so I get some of the backstory. What I like about you, what I love about you, you're an empath like I am. No matter if I love you, dislike what you've done, I will always honor you as a Black queen that you are. I start watching the panel show, and that's how I got to you. And I've commented a few times on some of your stuff, and I too had a miscarriage.
Sorry to hear that.
Of course, I ended up with 2 rainbow babies.
Good.
And they're both married, and one has just given me a grandchild that's 9 months. And so I say to you, I put on you just the cover of God, that he will bless you, whether it's by your body or by somebody else's body, that you will be blessed to be the mother to share the love and kindness that I see this just oozing out of you. Oh my.
Thank you so much.
You just never see that on reality TV, and sometimes you don't see it in your friends. And to come to a place like YouTube and find someone like you, it's a rarity. And you've turned my head to thinking I might need to get this mommy podcast and mommy
Yes,
YouTube
do
thing
it.
going.
Do it.
And
Ain't nothing special about me but my name and the fact that I'm a crybaby.
I'm a crybaby too, because I was crying when he was telling his story. Because, like you said, when you build up to having a child, it's not just, oh, I want a child and I'm pregnant today. It's you're with the right person. It's the right time. Or, of course, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. But as an adult, we kind of prepare ourselves. And when it happens and our expectations are not met and people don't honor our feelings, you don't have to like how I react, but you can honor it. There's a difference.
Right.
There's a very big difference. And to know that they took that and made that something that they would run with, that to me is worse than despicable. Because that, as a woman, that's what we think we're supposed to do.
Right.
We're supposed to bore children and be fruitful and multiply, and then we feel like we're less than.
When you don't, right.
And so my heart goes out to you. Every time you come on, I try to make sure I'm available. I try not to book my clients when you're on.
Really? Oh my gosh. That's
yes.
So fine.
Yes. And when you come on and I'm on.
You got money, girl. Don't worry about me. You can watch the replay.
I said, I got to let Buffy know that she has stirred something in me and let you know that I am blessed that you were on that show because that's how I got to meet you. It may have not been what you needed, but you were what we needed.
Oh my gosh.
And so thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, and
Love you more. Thank you so much. It's so incredibly kind of you. The
I'm a
kindness of
therapist, so
strangers
you
never
know, people
so
might think that
amazing.
that's me.
Mm-mm.
But
Thank you so much, Georgia. You have a good start your podcast. And make sure you let me know when you started so I can follow and tune in. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sweetie.
I'm a fur mama, so I can learn some things.
You got to get ready because it's coming, honey.
Thank you for speaking into existence. You have a good day and happy new year.
Bye-bye. You too.
Bye-bye. Tyler, I'm sorry. Hey, how are you? I can't hear you on mute. Can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you go.
Hi, Buffy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So let me start off by saying this. I loved when you were on the show. Now, did I agree with everything that went down? No, but I've never, ever liked Dr. Jackie. I'm not trying to be mean or bash anyone because I love and support successful Black women. I love to see them strive, whether it's reality TV or in real life. However, Dr. Jackie has always held her nose up at people. And what I hated was what I didn't like about Dr. Jackie was I remember season 1. I'm from Memphis, and what irritated me was to see Quad running behind her and Heavenly and them. And I'm like, weren't they calling you ghetto and low budget and trash and all that? It's just the way that she acted. Then she threw her friend Simone away to be under Heavenly because Heavenly was somewhat maybe one of the favorites from
she was the rising star.
Yeah, she was the rising star. So it's like, I'm going to throw Simone away and this will give me another storyline and I'll go over. I've never liked Dr. Jackie. I always felt like she thought she was better than people. And just when I started being like, she might be all right, she did that. And I hated when she did that. And I felt like they tried to make you feel like your feelings were invalid. And I did not like that.
Mm-hmm. They did. They were trying to protect her because she, they said she's the fan favorite. I always thought that Heavenly was the fan favorite.
No, she's not the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She really shouldn't be on the show. If you're so much above the fray and have all these celebrity clients and everybody comes to you and love you, just leave the show. Then there's no need because you're not going to do anything but sit there and act like you're a goody two shoes. The premises of this show was to show successful marriages and some that are having problems and show that maybe doctors are not all stuck up and stiff,
right?
And they have normal lives and things outside of that, and she does not offer that. She turns her nose up at everybody. And Heavenly, to be honest, I don't see how Heavenly is her friend because if you watch any of her lives, Heavenly lets you know that most of the shit stuff she says, Jackie said it. She just doesn't want to put that persona.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I said that she's her mouthpiece. Yeah.
Yes,
but Heavenly is smart. I will tell you, Heavenly is probably one of the smartest people. Like, don't let the bad grammar fool you. Heavenly plays chess.
Yes, and I honestly did not like how Heavenly, because I thought based off your personality and Heavenly, I thought that you two would, and actually her and Mariah would have gotten along had she not been around.
Yeah, me and Heavenly went to lunch 3-4 times and all that, and then I guess she got the word that no, we got to destroy Buffy because of what Jackie did, and we can't let this go down. And so that's what happened.
And I have one last thing. When it comes to Andy Cohen, let me say this: it's a pattern. Anytime Black shows on Bravo become like enormously successful, because Potomac is creeping up on what Atlanta was.
Yes.
Married to Medicine was being very successful for a long time. Atlanta has, surpassed everything. Once they get to that certain success level and they do better than Beverly Hills and New York and OC, he wants to shake up the cast, move their time slots, and do all these petty things. And I've been paying attention to that because I'm like, okay, this past season of Potomac, right, was their most successful season
Yep.
ever. Most successful season. So you purposely, you knew it wasn't editing that did that. You purposely, you don't want Monique. You knew Monique, you didn't want her back on the show. You're trying to play like you did, but
She
you
don't step
didn't.
and fetch. That's why
Yeah,
they want me around.
because you want those white shows to get those ratings. Just
Right.
just keeping it real. Same thing with getting. You had the perfect reunion last season for Atlanta with Eva, all of them, even with their mess. I would have loved to seen how those women, that collective group, would have came together with Black Lives Matter and everything going on.
Yep.
But you wanted to ruin that because it's doing better than Beverly Hills and all that. Same thing with you. Why would you this? You were a main storyline when you were a friend. Typically,
everybody else I was main cast. I was not.
That's what I'm saying. And typically they move you up, right? And you've demoted Quad and you've gotten rid of Mariah, which was stupid to me because Quad and Mariah are the show. They're the fan favorites, whether you like it or not. And I honestly feel like given another season and you take out maybe a Jackie, I think that Quad and Mariah maybe not best friends, but come to a common ground. And I honestly think your personality was needed because you gave me that you could fix, not get in their business, but you seem like the type of person like, look, we're not here for this. Let's have a good time and fix this. But they don't like to see that with Black women. They want them fighting and doing all this, and his demise will come.
Yeah.
It will. But for you, I want you to know I wanted you to come back. I thought you were coming back. I was so shocked to see that. I'm like, damn, they didn't make her a full.
No, and I want this everybody to know. My lawyer, right after the reunion, I had him send an email that I was not interested in returning. And they said, and see, I wouldn't lie. I'd just be like, oh yeah, they said they didn't want my Black ass back. No, they said we have the right to exercise all our options with you. And so it was 6 months later before I was able to get out of the contract. So
we wanted you. I definitely wanted you back because I feel like I liked your dynamic on the show. I like how you came in a breath of fresh air. Sometimes when new people come in, they have this, whether people liked you or not, you didn't come in, whoa, it's me, I'm that girl, you just came in, hi, I'm Buffy, you know, I have this going on, this is my life, and then boom, somebody, before you could even discuss it, you're infertile. Like, I did not like that. And I
never brought up my money, but when they came to my house, see, they saw me wearing Fashion Nova and thought one thing about me because I don't wear my assets on my ass. But then when I had my party and they came to my home in Buckhead that I own, then all the problems started happening.
Yeah, and you know, it's hate. But I did want to see you back because I felt like they didn't give you enough shine at the reunion. That was one thing that I didn't like. And you were the main storyline too.
Right, and I'm on the end.
Because although that season was good, that was one of their most boring seasons. And you were the main storyline. They didn't give you enough time. And I like how you called Jackie out on her S. Because it needed to be done, because all of them run around and kiss her butt, and she looks down on everyone. Even Simone, who was her friend, because if you remember, she used to say she works at that little office over there. She's not that motivated. And
yeah, they treat Simone like she's a physician assistant. And so when I had my breast cancer scare, I went to Simone because I wanted people to see it. Whatever my differences are with Simone, she is a good doctor. She has empathy in spades. She spends good time with her patients. You can see it radiate on the screen when I went there, and I was scared. I was truly scared. It wasn't a storyline for me. They thought it was a storyline. Yeah. It wasn't. It was not. I really needed to go to the doctor.
To that point, that's what we all liked about Married to Medicine initially. Now it's becoming overly produced. We got to go to these fake dinners. It used to be on Married to Medicine. Quad and Mariah don't get along, so we're not going to have them at 2 dinners together. Okay, but Mariah and Buffy get along, so they're going to go to dinner together. Like, it used to be organic, and now it's more so, you know, let's just push these people together and let them fight, or whose house isn't built, as if people in real life don't go through financial ups and downs.
I appreciate Toya for sharing that.
Yes, and I hate that people rip her to parts, because I'm like, we're sitting up here discussing on how we're going to pay the rent. She's talking about $1 million house. That's a whole different conversation. Apart that Black woman and her husband, but they don't do that to Dorit and Teddy and Erica. Are their divorces being exploited? No. Was it they tried to protect Denise at all costs about a threesome, but you're exploiting Portia and Tanya to the point where Tanya will no longer film, but you're exploiting them, but you didn't even bring up Denise's stuff at your reunion. So let's be real. I don't like how they do black women over there.
I agree. Thank
But
you.
I'm gonna let other people get in. We really did want you back, but we'll just enjoy you on YouTube.
Thank you, Tyler. You have a good day.
Bye.
Appreciate you. Oh, my TikTok people here. Hold on, wait. JJ, I'm gonna get Mad Hattie next. JJ,
All right.
hey,
how you doing?
I'm fine. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I'm so happy to see you. I rushed on just to talk to you. Like, I was just so excited to talk to you because, like, I literally went back and watched it, Married to Medicine, that you were on. And because I missed that one. I missed that season. So I went back and watched it, and I was so hurt. I was so heartbroken to the point that I really feel like this was intentional. I really feel like it was a weird way. Like, I don't know if she was jealous, but the way she said it was like she wanted you to suffer too. It was just so weird watching her, say it, especially when she was speaking to Simone and was like, well, and Simone was like, she has, trying to explain to her what's going on. And she was just like, she needs to tell. It just blew me that. And it's like, I can never. Like when I first watched Married to Medicine, I thought Simone and Jackie was just Black excellence. And I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I love to see it. And my antenna started to go off during their marital issues, especially with Jackie. I was just like, she seems really cold and she hasn't kind of forgiven her husband about the child situation. But when it came to you, I was done. I was too done. And it's like, I'll never watch it again. I'll absolutely never watch it again. And I hate they did you that way. But I got a question for you. Okay. Would you ever consider doing reality TV, just you and your husband? Because I really want to see more of you. I think everybody does. And, would you consider it if you could be not dealing with them women? You know what I'm saying? But just you and your husband, because y'all are. What you think?
We actually have been offered some things and I've turned them down. I am not going to be willing to do reality TV anymore unless I am a co-creator and executive producer, because I will never allow people to control the narrative that is my life. These people, like I said, did a public autopsy of my uterus. Then they went on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere and said that my mental health should be called into question because I cried about, oh yes, the dentist said, they say she crazy. Like,
and that's the thing.
That threatened my livelihood. I was still working at that time. I have some very high profile clients, members of Congress, politicians, professional athletes. For them to say all that, because I cried about losing at that time 6 babies.
Everything was understandable to the viewers.
But hear me here, and I'm glad to hear that. But at that time, I didn't see it. I just saw the negative, and that may be the space that I was in. Mm-hmm. I didn't see the people shutting them down. I just saw Buffy's a crybaby, and get over it. And that's probably why you can't. I mean, it was just horrific.
Oh yeah, they were definitely. And I mean, it just really opened my eyes to just more than not only heavenly, because I actually kind of like it, but heavenly, how she just went and supported Jackie with, like, if you're a real friend, you got to call a friend out when they're in the wrong. And she didn't do that. It was like she was going so hard for her. It was disgusting. And then Contessa, it just really made me sick to see how she just handled you. I'm like, what the, you know what I'm saying? So it just, everybody, only people who I kind of semi still like it is Mariah and Toya, because the rest of them, they just acted a fool. Like no one held her to the fire because they just wanted to protect her feelings. But she came off, you could tell she's hurt. You can tell she's bitter.
Yeah.
You can tell she's really hurt and bitter, and that's one reason why she came at you the way she did. I really believe it's some internal stuff, and Jackie's gonna have to face that. She's gonna have to face that, because you could just, when I seen her face and how she, especially how she was looking at Simone like, I did it, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're hurting. It's like you're trying to hurt her because you're hurting. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I want to thank you for your comments and your support, and wish you a happy new year. While I got you on here, I'm going to address Tanya. Tanya, come on, girl. You said co-creator EP, your business is taxes by. Actually, I own at my heyday, about 18 businesses, different businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Taxes was one of them. I'm also a government contracting company. I had clients, employee leasing company. I'm not going to go that, I was a licensed mortgage broker, giving homes to people. So you don't know me because you saw an edit that Bravo and that production company did. So don't presume to know what I am or what I'm not. And I actually have a production company, Just Being Buffy Productions, where I have done many pilots for television over the years.
Tanya, join the line so we can talk to you.
I said, everybody, if you want to come through, I'm here for it. Don't let that edit fool you. I'm fine. As long as you're respectful, I'm good. But bye, Jay. I appreciate
Thank you. Happy New Year. Bye.
TT, if you gotta go, I know, darling. I'm going over, but we cooking with oil. Hey, Leon, how you doing? Happy New Year.
I'm fine. Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing well. So I want to say, I'm a big fan of yours. I watched the show. And for me, it's interesting because now with reality TV in 2021, you really have to watch with a third eye watching reality TV, because it's more than just seeing. You have to really look at the editing, how they say certain things. So because I have a question, I have a reason why they really didn't want you to be on the show outside of your own reasoning. And it could be a reach.
Let me hear. I'm interested to hear this.
It could be a reach. So I feel like this. If you notice on the first season, they treated Mariah and Quad like the ghetto girl, oh, you can't sit with us. And it probably was because a lot of them, they have degrees, but there was an elitism between doctors and doctors' wives. And I think coming on the show with you, it was a difference because you had your own. They're established too, but there was a different air of I'm self-made. I don't have to sit at the table and audition for you. I can walk away right now and I can still be Buffy. There's a difference between Mariah and Quad. They wanted to be in that circle. So, and even so much heavily, they kind of welcomed her with open arms, even though she kind of kicked the door in, but it was
they didn't welcome her.
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, they didn't welcome her, but it was I'm a doctor, so, eventually we'll still respect you. But with the wives, I noticed, even with Toya, they still give her a hard time, well, you're still not on our level. Mm-hmm. But me, I wanted to ask you this question because I just literally saw the clip on YouTube the other day. What was the air of the room when she actually said the comment of well, Buffy, you're infertile? What was the air? Because I know people probably gasped when she said that. I do not imagine that no one just sat there and just went on and let her talk.
Well, no, the room was silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everybody turned and looked at me in horror, mortified. And I just, I sucked it up. And I wasn't going to ruin her event. I wasn't going to make her event about me, which is something that a lot of people don't have the strength and fortitude to do. I was very hurt. I was embarrassed. And I just said to myself in my head real quick, if I react, then it's going to be about my reaction, not what she said to me. And so I remained quiet. But yes, everybody was mortified. Everybody went to Dave and they were like, is Buffy okay? Blah, 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 blah. Because I immediately walked to her because I was going to address her, but not, cuss out. I was going to and Quad came and interrupted me because, they have the thing where you got to protect. And so Quad came and said, well, what do you think about doing IVF? And that was the scene where you saw, I said, yeah, I spent over $200,000 at Quad, and so I wasn't able to talk to Jackie. They intervened. So,
and that's all was crazy to me because I'm a lot of them have had infertility issues, like Quad, Dr. Jackie, Toya at one point, even I think started.
Toya had a miscarriage during that season.
Literally, so I'm just surprised at the dinner table, nobody got up and said, if this is your friend, if these are your friends, you're going to tell them you were dead wrong. You didn't have to be rude.
Toya did. Toya did. Toya back me up. Toya, whatever. I don't have, she called me a crybaby. That's fine. That's her opinion. But I don't have any will toward Toya and Eugene, because really they were the only ones other than Mariah who stuck up for me. But I thank you so much, Leon.
No problem. Thank you.
You happy New Year. The Mad Hattie, my TikTok fam coming through. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Loving the purple.
Thank you. Had to put it back in there, rocking it for you. So I adore you. I love you. We've been friends on TikTok for a while. I think you're amazing. And I still get so upset when I see these people trying to come for you. It really upsets me, because I'm like, this is a smart, highly educated, highly intelligent, entrepreneurial woman owning all these businesses, successful in a thriving, happy marriage. And all these people want to do is try to tear into you. And it just gets me so angry, because I'm like, we should be supporting you. This is the type of woman we all want to strive and be. And it just irritates me to no end. And I would love to see you and Dr. Dave, putting yourself out there, doing more. Maybe have a YouTube channel of just y'all doing stuff. That'd be great. But I needed to come on. And when I saw the comments that they were posting, and you said you're going to do the video about it and you're going to go on YouTube, I'm like, I had to come on and support you and just be like, there are people here who saw that, and immediately it shut it off, because one of the other people you had on said it's now become reality TV for Bravo, has now become the replacements for All My Children and General Hospital and One Life to Live.
With real people's lives.
Yes. And we don't need to make drama. We need to make shows that are supporting and encouraging and lifting up these people and saying, look what we have, look what we can do, look what we've done. This is something that you can achieve, and we're going to give you a glimpse into our life. And if stuff happens naturally, okay, we can address it. We'll deal with it. We move on. But you don't need to be chasing that rabbit of, ooh, let's start some drama. We're going to be high school stuff, and we're going to get all this going on. Ooh, have the cameras follow her into the bathroom. And then, oh, let's go get her Dr. Jackie over here, and she can follow her too. Girl, you crying here. Let me throw some tissues at you.
Right.
It's unnecessary. And to see them continuing to repeat this across multiple shows, and then only choosing to push that narrative for specific shows, specifically the Black-driven shows, the people of color shows, it's irritating and it's frustrating and it's annoying. And I just want to come on and say, there's a bunch of us here that love you. We support you. We support everything you do. You're an amazing woman. You're a queen, and we love you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I just want to add one thing and piggyback what you said. As long as people watch, they have no incentive to change.
Yeah.
The formula of the villain and the victim and them three broads in the middle, the five cast, 5 leading women, and there's a villain and a victim and the 3 in the middle. As long as that continues to bring the ratings, they won't change. There's no incentive.
I agree.
And it's a business. And I understand that it's a business, but just be smarter with your business. Like, make sure you take care of the one that they tried to destroy. Because, they don't know me. That could have destroyed me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they did do the work. But thank you so much. Oh, and I see somebody said HIPAA laws don't apply to they apply to their patients. Buffy was not her patient. Well. Well, there's another OBGYN on that show. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. let me see. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Buffy.
Hi, you look so
I love you and your husband. And I'm sick, it's no secret, because I be on Monica and I have cancer and leukemia. And I'm at the end stages, and I'm 70 plus. I'm the one with the big caps all the time. I'm like,
I
oh,
usually caps all you want, and 70. This
I
skin is
mean,
beautiful.
I was just so upset this week. Just this week, they.
Oh, you froze on me, Miss Dr. Davis. Oh, come back. Call me back. Is it froze? Call me back. So I want to hear what.
Upset when this other blogger came for you and your husband, said you were on there because you were trying to get your little coins, and your husband, he doesn't do something but work in a warehouse or something. I was so angry. I put all my comments on there, and he kicked them off.
My husband working in a warehouse. My husband who's licensed.
Your husband is a psychiatrist.
Right, who's licensed in
A
7
real one, like me. I'm retired from the government. I was a doctor, not a PhD.
Yeah, they making up stuff now. Their mug is licensed in 7 states, is a biomedical engineer, and does clinical trials. Reading one on COVID research right now. That's hilarious.
Okay, like my son. Like my son.
The coins that they put on the show didn't even cover my hair and makeup.
Yeah. Well, I'm conditioning my little bit of hair I got left.
You look beautiful.
I'm conditioning it right now. But I love you so much.
Love you too.
Stop watching it because my service dog pick up. He's free. Every emotion, my service dog picked up every emotion I had. And when I get an emotion about you, I train my dogs not to bark. And they will just bark, bark, bark. And I said, I have to turn this off. And after you went off, I didn't watch them anymore. I don't even know if they're on anymore. I don't know. That's how I do my part. And my 29 grandchildren and 15 great-grandchildren and 3 on the way of the great, like I said, I'll be almost 80, but I say 70 plus. But
that's fine.
All of them are in the technology, and they can make stuff go viral in an instant. And some of them, let me give you a clue, because I'm biracial. So, when they start talking about you have a white husband, I'm like, well, I wouldn't be here, okay? Right. But if my mother and my father didn't get together, but all I can say is this: you know who you are, and your husband loved every bit of that big, round, beautiful butt, baby. He couldn't even play the game. He was just standing there. I mean,
he does. I love it.
They couldn't even edit that out. That was too good for them to edit. And then even the men was like, damn, look at her ass. I'm sorry, I don't want to curse. But the men was saying, look at her, and it was just perfect. Big, round, sitting up there, like, man, but who cares? But, it's like, I'm like, ooh, she's showing it. And they was like, Nana, that's what you used to do. I said, shut up. I told you I didn't do none of that kind of stuff back in the day. But I love you, and I love your husband, and I went through the same thing you went through, but I lost 2 children, and they were one was 2.5 and one was 17. So it's hard, and for somebody to come at you, and I'm also military, Marine.
Dr. Davis, you done froze again on me. I appreciate you. Call back, Dr. Davis. I don't know why it's going in and out. All right, I'm gonna bring Shay in. Hey Shay, how are you?
Hi, Buffy.
Hi, little bit over there.
Hello, this is Simba.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
he wouldn't let me be great and just wait on you to just call me. He had to be on the live too.
Well, I needed to see him. That ain't nothing but the Lord. That helps my spirit.
I just wanted to come on and say how much I love you. I have loved you. I like legit when you got on the show, I wasn't watching. My mom was watching and she told me I was a couple episodes behind that season. She was like, no, it's this new girl they got on there. She said, I think you gonna like us. I don't be liking nobody like that on the show. And she was like, I think you gonna like her. So I had caught up and I was like, I like her. She brings something different. She real. She break the fourth wall all the time. So, I loved you. And you probably don't recognize my name, but I follow you on literally like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You always engaging with me. It's Ste Aries on all your other stuff.
Yeah. TikTok especially. Yeah.
I'm always engaging because I love that you stood up for yourself and you didn't let everybody always get you down, and you just chose to be happy. Like, that's what I loved about you. You chose to be happy no matter what was going on, even when Dr. Jackie did that thing to you, and I wanted to smack the heck out of her, because every time they pick with you, I'm a big sister. I'm an oldest of 4 girls. So like every time I see like you, and you act like one of my middle sisters, like every time I see somebody picking on somebody, I'd be like, please call me over there. Let me. If I was at that reunion, I would have got everybody doggone straight. Okay. I love you, and I love supporting your content. I love supporting with your businesses when you always end up giving this great empowerment and great money financial advice that I am always taking. Like I'm always taking this.
So good.
Thank you. I just want to tell you, like I listen to you. I really listen to you, and I look up to you because I live in Illinois, which is one of the highest income states that you can live in. And me and my fiance, we have 2 kids. This one, he's 3 months now. And I have a 4-year-old ruining my house somewhere.
Congrats. No, that's good. Let that baby ruin the house.
So we're always, and I'm in nursing school. Like I only have 2 semesters.
Oh, good.
So we're always talking about just balling on a budget and trying to think about stuff to invest in, and just doing it young because we're both in our 20s, and just trying. Like I watch all your financial advisory videos, and I take everything into accountability, and just
Sunday I'm gonna drop some real resources for everybody on my Sunday show at 3.
Yay.
About home buying and credit and everything. So please tune in. But I appreciate you and thank you for showing me the baby.
You say bye-bye. Oh, now you want to sleep? Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you so much. You have a good day.
You too.
Happy New Year. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Pretty Miss G, that's my girl, looking gorgeous as usual. How you doing?
Let me take this out of my ear so I'm not distracted by listening to you on the other side.
Hi, hold on one second, Pretty Miss G. So I see the other people on. I'm gonna get to y'all, and then I gotta go because I got a 3:00 appointment. I love y'all so much. Never did I think I would have this many people supporting me today.
Girl, stop it.
I didn't. So I just want to say that. But I am gonna get to DJ on Demand, Bernice, Mitchell Turkey, and BAP 0485 before I leave. Okay, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, girl.
I'm so glad. I really don't know what to say because a lot of people said so many great things. And right on point. So I really appreciate them saying that. So I'm like, gosh, what am I gonna say? And there's so many people in the chat straightening out a bunch of other people that need to be checked on some things.
Well, thank y'all because I ain't even been looking.
Oh yeah. Oh, you don't need to look. You don't need to look. They got it down there for you. I wanted you to talk about gaslighting a little bit, because one of the things there's so many things to respect about you, but one of the things that I think people don't understand that they might even be experiencing in their own life and in their own circumstances is the gaslighting of people trying to tell you how to feel, tell you that what you're feeling isn't real. And a lot of times the people that are attacking you or attacking others who have experiences, they don't even recognize that they're being done the very same way on a different scale in their own employment. And I think it's ironic that those same people are the same people that were like, that's not happening. That's not happening. You cannot sit on the other side of someone else's situation, outside of their situation, and tell them what's going on in their situation. And the very minute you tell people what to think, and how to feel, you should, and you, something in your mind should stop you and say, I can't do that, because how would you feel if someone told you that what happened to you did not happen?
Right.
And I think that
the whole network told me that. A whole production company told me that. Social media told me that. And 6 women on the show told me that. Well, not 6.
And we saw it, Buffy. We saw it. Let me say this. We saw it. And even the things that you say behind the scene, it adds up and it makes plenty of sense, but we saw it. And the thing that made it real for me too is because previously I'd heard, your friends would tell on you too. Dr. Heavenly say that Jackie doesn't like to say certain things. Jackie is identical. They're probably the same people. The nastiness and the foul mouth and the rudeness. That's something
together, honey.
Birds of say it again, because I was gonna say that.
Right. And you know what I'm gonna say about Heavenly? I appreciate. She's real. That's who she is.
She's real, but
she ain't fronting.
That's the difference.
She pop off at the mouth, but what she misrepresents is how smart she is, or people don't catch it, because Heavenly is probably one of the smartest people on that show.
I recognize that too. The difference is she will defend Jackie. This is what has me questioning her intelligence too, because here's the thing. If she's so smart, right, you want Jackie to be held to on this pedestal, and you say things that Jackie wants to say, that Jackie is thinking, but because Jackie wants to protect a false image, you say it for her. So
the reason, sorry to interrupt you, that she does that, in my view, is if she links herself to Jackie, right? If they're linked, and she helps to maintain Jackie's faux, pristine, godly, above the fray persona, then in some ways it elevates hers.
Batman and Rob, it works with their personality. Is that what you're saying?
It makes people question if Heavenly is that bad. If she can somebody that is perceived to be so good. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like I said, Heavenly plays a mean game of chess.
I get it. I still don't respect it, but I get it.
I don't respect it either. I'm just saying,
I understand.
I recognize it.
I understand it now that you're saying it. I just don't get it. But I think for me, it's important for the viewing audience or people in general to understand that these things, because you know my story, there's things that happen to people in their own work environment. You know what I mean? And they have their colleagues, their co-workers who are watching these things happen to them. And you look at your colleague and you say, did you see that? Am I imagining that? Or did you see that? And they're like, oh, no, they didn't see it when they saw it. But as long as it's not them and they're not the target, then it's okay. And I have a problem with that the gaslighting of people it's disturbing, and it's a serious thing.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous, because at some point I was like, I'm getting no support from these bras. So am I crazy to still be upset about having miscarriages? Am I crazy to cry because I had to talk about having a DNC? You know what I mean? Like, I was like,
I know.
Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I should just snap out of it. And then I thought later, when I could heal, well, the person who was leading the fray, and I'm sorry, Louis is jumping around.
No,
the person that was telling me to get over it the most and that I should stand in my pain, she's had 15 years. She said it. 15 years ago, breast cancer, now 16, robbed her of her fertility. She had 15 years
to deal with her stuff.
Heal. I'm not her contemporary. She's in my mother's age group.
And she must have forgotten that you were 15 years younger than her.
I'm excuse me, now go ahead. I'm just kidding. I'm being shady at this point. But yes, there's a significant age difference betwixt the two of us.
Exactly.
And my last miscarriage, from when she had her last, was a long time. And I'm not saying that it's not as painful, but the point is, you can't tell me when I haven't had 15 years to get over it.
What to think, how to feel, and when to feel. I just appreciated the fact that you knew that's what I saw in you too, the brilliance that you knew that had you said something to her and responded to her, that they would have painted you as the villain. That was really, 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 really smart.
Because it was smart of them. And it was costly for them, girl. I'm sorry, we friends, so you know my ADD.
Yeah.
It was costly for them. We social
No,
media.
I know.
But so forgive me for interrupting. And unfortunately, I just saw somebody say something I got to say something about. You told me not to look. You told me not to look. You told me not to look. Why are you in Buffy's chat amping up Team Candace Strawberry Baby? I didn't see Strawberry Baby's comment. But I'm gonna address Candace.
Can I say something about the whole Candace thing? Because I saw this narrative.
Oh, go ahead.
I've seen this narrative that people keep making a comparison to you and Candace. One, reality TV or in real life, there is no comparison to a Buffy and a Candace.
Thank you.
Candace weaponizing her tears on another Black woman when she knows that she has been mildly, and we're not talking about whether who you siding on the Monique thing or whatever, because there's blame to go across the board.
Correct.
However, please don't try to compare Buffy to Candace, because there is no, and the second difference between Buffy and Candace is Candace is being traumatized. Candace is traumatized herself. She has a lot of stuff going on mentally. Just my what's the word I want to say? My assessment of her situation. She has some things going on mentally. If that's impacting her, if the show is impacting her to that depth, because things impact us at work, she has to decide if it's worth staying. So that's Buffy made the decision that she wouldn't allow something to impact her so deep and stay in it. And being able to make that choice can tell you that there's a difference between the two of you in what you've done in your life prior to that. Because sometimes we have to place ourselves in situations where we can walk away. And the fact that you were able to walk away with a beautiful smile on your face, not that you weren't hurt because you deserve to be, but just the fact that you can walk away. I mean, I would if I were them, I would stop with the comparisons, because it's so that's not even just a reach.
Well, I agree with everything you said. And I just want to say one thing about that. I am on a panel show where I am asked to comment on Bravotv.
Say it again.
It ain't like I just came out of nowhere for Candace. I'm on a show where I'm asked questions on All About the TV about Bravo shows. Additionally, just because I was on a reality TV show on that network does not prohibit me from having an opinion. And I never said, oh, Candace, blah, 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 about her being a crybaby. What I said was, if you're going to get the quote right,
get it right.
Get it right. What I said was, they didn't have any empathy for me crying about the loss of 6 children at that time. So don't expect anybody to have empathy for you crying in your situation. That's all I said. And it's the truth. Whether she caused it or not, if they would malign my character, question my mental health, throw me under the damn bus as a friend of a show because I cried about having to discuss 6 miscarriages, nobody's going to show you any empathy about a fight you have with another woman on that show. That's all I said, especially when you got a mouth like Candace's. That's all I said. You cannot argue with that. But
no.
I thank you, pretty Miss G. You always are lovely. You better go with them red lips popping. And I'll talk to you later.
I love you, Buffy. Thank you for being you. And one last thing before I go.
Okay.
People who want to stop you from speaking, if you want to talk about it every hour, on the hour, anytime you get good and ready, do so.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
Love you, Buffy.
Love you too. Thank you. DJ on Demand, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Buffy, how you doing?
Oh, deep voice. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Listen, you probably saw me. I was running. I went to the gym. I ran. I got inside the shower, and I still was waiting to get in.
I appreciate you and your patience.
But I really wanted to come on the show to say, first of all, how excited I am to have stumbled across your channel. Number one, I've watched the show Married to Medicine. I did watch the show Married to Medicine, and when you came on, you hit the ground running. And when I tell you your personality is so bright, so light, and so funny, and I mean, it was all of what the show really needed. It needed that balance. You were on an ensemble team, and so what really bothers me about how you were portrayed was the fact that you had a real pain and you had a real issue. Hold on one second. Somebody's at my front door, so they're chiming in. You had a real pain that most women in America can somehow empathize with. Most women, most women can empathize with that pain. And the fact that you were able to overcome it and have the resiliency to try it again over and over and over again was not really displayed on the show. I wish that they would have keyed into your strength as a black woman who decided not to give up on her dream of being a mother. I wish they would have changed the narrative so that most women will have hope and can see themselves doing it again and try. If it's in you, keep going for it. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, keep going for it. It's in you for a reason. Never give up doing what you feel is right. And so I just wanted to say that to you. I really appreciate your character. When I stumbled across your videos, I looked at every last one of them, and I think you're the most funniest person I have ever met. And the fact that you just have a bright personality. So I just want you to know that there are a lot of people out here that are rooting for you, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. As far as Dr. Jackie is concerned, let's get to Dr. Jackie.
No, listen.
Dr. Jackie, I really, like some of the other fans out there, thought that Dr. Jackie was going to be the Mother Teresa. She was going to be the Black Pope and the Chief Bishop Princess of the show. But I do feel now. I do feel. You may disagree with me on this. I do feel that she may have not thought that thing all the way through, what was presented to her to say, and she said it because it was presented to her to say it. And that was just not, it was just not a good move. I wish she would have came out on the reunion and just straightforward apologized to you for how it made you feel, because she was a proponent for making sure that you address the person's emotions and what it is that made them get to the place of that emotion. And she didn't demonstrate that. So that to me makes her a hypocrite. I'm sorry.
Well, no, don't apologize. I agree with you. And I think, at one point I always try to look for the good in people and put myself in their position. And I thought, well, maybe she did slip up. And so that night, that's why I didn't act. I'm a person that takes a moment and assesses the situation. For them to be saying I don't have any control of my mental health status. I'm very mentally aware and socially cognizant of how I'm perceived in the world. And so I took a second. I said, if I react now, it's going to be about me and my reaction and not what she said. And I thought that I would get a phone call from her the next day. I thought that she would call me and say, that slipped out. I didn't mean it. That didn't happen.
No call.
No, she never called me. She never texted me to apologize. I got that apology, if you can call it an apology, in Mexico on camera. And then I got the final legal statement apology at the reunion. And so, that makes me question your
authenticity and your sincerity.
She likes to say I blocked her. I hadn't blocked her right at that time. That's not true, because I then went on to host a spa day that I invited her to, and she was the one that had an attitude. I was the one whose character was maligned and uterus was, brought forth on TV and gutted and shamed for crying about it. And I still invited her, still gave her a gift, still hired a massage therapist to give her a massage,
right,
and have fun with her. And she rolled her eyes. So who was the one holding the grudge? It wasn't me.
You could tell she had a lot going on with her own personal marriage and relationships, probably the firm, her clients.
She shared that, and maybe I would have empathized, but she didn't share it with me.
She didn't share it with you, and then she did not own it. Mm-hmm. And let this be a lesson for a lot of people out there that are listening to this broadcast today, that when you do something, just own it. I mean, what is it going to take away from you to say, you know what, I messed up. That was not my intentions. My intentions were to do X, Y, and Z. Even if that was going to be hurtful towards you, that was not my intentions, was to hurt you. If she could have just came out and said that, I think the whole situation would have been a lot better. So she does have a mark in my book. I really thought very highly of her, and now it's a little bit lessened at this point. Now, I do want, I know somebody else is backstage and you're trying to get to him. I want to get to this whole Candace thing. Can I?
I'm trying to talk about the girl.
Because I'm really upset about this. I really am upset about this. How are you going to be? You can't even correlate the two. I know that the narrative was that Buffy's feelings were hurt because of X, Y, and Z, and all she does is cry. Oh, come on. Did you see the Real Housewives of Potomac? Did you see the whole season, this season, last season? All she did the entire season was literally cry. Now, I'm sorry. Now, my parents taught me, if they hit you and they hurt you, you cry. But after they hit you and you cry, you get it out. You need to come full force and not even show them a single tear, because you're just playing into the adversary. I mean, what is wrong with Candace? And then for them to correlate you guys in the same boat, I don't even think so. First of all, her personality is very off-kill. She's very immature. She's very vain. I didn't see that from you in the season that you played in and Married to Medicine. But Candace, her personality, I really believe that her personality just magnetizes this whole crying and victim thing. It's like she plays the victim. Somebody's always doing something to her. Now, if she's on the next season, I'm going to forecast what's going to happen in her life. She is going to play the victim to her husband. The next season of her life, first of all, the first season was she played the victim to her mother. Now she's playing the victim to her friend.
Well,
next thing is going.
But I don't want to interrupt you, DJ on demand. Let me just say this though. I don't really care for Candace, but I'm not gonna bash the girl. I'm just not.
She's a victim. She plays.
That's a character on these shows. There's a villain and a victim, right? There's a villain and a victim, and there are three broads in the middle. And she ain't gonna be she doesn't want to be perceived as the villain, so then be the victim, right? That to me, that's what's going on. Now, does she have some real pain and trauma? Probably. And I hope that she continues to work through that. And I ain't gonna shade her for crying. Cry, that's fine. But don't compare, like you said, our situations. I didn't cry because somebody called me fat, or I didn't cry because they said my house manager was going to cheat with my husband. I didn't cry because they said, oh, she a fraud, she doesn't even work. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I don't work. I earn passive income from the businesses that I invest in, but I digress. They don't know about that yet, and they journey in business. And so I didn't cry about any of that surface level bullshit that they always do with the new girl. What I cried about was the loss of, at that time, 6 children. And so that is not comparable to somebody who is full cast, because I was not. I was a friend. That's another
friend to the show, and you exposed yourself completely.
Right. They gutted me as a friend. Imagine what they would have done to me if I was full cast on that show, child. Some people say, well, Buffy, you have to take some accountability. You knew what you signed up for. No, I didn't. I thought I was going to be on a couple episodes looking cute in some Fashion Nova frugal outfits, and I may get a one-liner in as a friend. I didn't feel like I was going to have 3 storylines, be on the reunion, and be gutted. That's not what a friend does on that series. And so you can't compare the two. She signed up, she being Candace. The rest of them brides who are main cast signed up for that scrutiny. I did not. But I love you. I appreciate you. And she can cry. I hope she does keep crying. Cry, get it out. It's cathartic. Get it out. I don't have no problem with tears. I'm a crybaby too. But don't compare us because we ain't the same. And I'm much older than her. So thank you so much.
Well, I just want to say thanks for having me on your show. Oh, by the way, can you get me a tax professional? I have been trying to get
my sister. Email Ola at Buffy LLC. TT, put the email, and then we'll connect you with my sister Courtney. I gave her my tax practice as part of my succession plan. She's amazing.
Sounds good. Thanks, Buffy, for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye. We got.
All right. Bye-bye. All
right. I got Bernice, Michelle, Turkey, and Bap, and then we got to go because And we got to make it quick because I got to go to a meeting. Okay, y'all. Hey, Bernice.
Hey,
I love
Buffy,
you.
love
Hi.
you. I'll make this quick. There's no comparison. You're an adult. She's a child. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bernice.
Um, um, with the way they dogged you on Married to Medicine, I did look at Jackie as in being elegant, classy. To when everybody argues, she's the one who can be level-minded and to get everybody straight. But it was even before you got there. I saw a chink in her armor the way that she was relating to Simone. When Simone was going through her marriage problems, Jackie wasn't there for Simone. So
Yeah.
yeah, she was.
Their relationship is weird to me.
Yeah. So but Heavenly is her mouthpiece. Heavenly say the things that Jackie as prim or proper she wouldn't say.
Allegedly prim and proper.
Yeah, allegedly. And her being so prim or proper and Heavenly being, so cutthroat, people can look at Heavenly like, well, if Jackie like her, she can't be all that bad.
Right.
So they excuse her behavior.
Right.
But I don't excuse her behavior because she admitted, I watch her on YouTube too. She admitted that some of the things that they say be low down and dirty that they don't show.
Mm-hmm.
So when you was talking about the things that they were saying to you that was low down and dirty, they didn't show. I believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, your pain is your pain. I can't tell you how your pain is because I didn't go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing they did with Monique, with Candace.
Yeah.
They justified Candace's pain, but Monique was in pain too. But you didn't
Monique
show
was in
that.
pain too.
Right.
Right.
You didn't show her growth. Candace didn't grow. She just yeah, okay. What's that? We're not gonna go there. But I love you.
Love you too, Bernice.
I watch your shows.
Thank you.
I learn a lot.
Oh, that's what it's about. Entertainment.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes, I learned a lot, and continue blessings to you to the new year.
Right.
And
you too.
your testimony has helped so many women out there. I would have had liked that for them to, with you, with your pain, and with Jackie and her pain, not being able to have kids through your cancer, that y'all would have related to each other, and y'all could have used that as a point to help other women.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't allow for that because but
Yeah.
It's fine. That wasn't a place for me. God has a different plan for my life and
Right.
it reveal itself, but it will. I appreciate you, Bernice.
Okay, love you, kiddo.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Hey, Michelle Turkey. I'm so sorry we had you so long.
Hello, hi, Buffy. Hello.
New Year, beautiful.
I'm from Africa, and me and my sister in Zimbabwe. It's next to South Africa. And okay, my baby wants to say hi. Hi. So anyway, me and my sisters, we watched the show and we loved it when you came on, but you know how sisters act, like we always discussed about the characters in the show, and we always had a question mark about Dr. Jackie. And when she finally did what she did to you, it confirmed what we always thought because we have an aunt who's similar to that. So anyway, I want to say one thing is I'm really disappointed by, let me say, Black Americans. Well, in Africa, we call you guys Black Americans. Especially how, Monique and how everybody's being treated by that show, and how you guys continue to support such a show that pins Black people against each other. They end up fighting and all sorts of things and dividing us more. It's really hurtful because what you don't know is you Black Americans, you have always set a standard for us because everything comes from America, and then after and a lot of people are watching you guys. We get inspired by you, and you are somehow telling our story as well. And when we see like people like Candace, and what's her name, the other woman, the light girl, Giselle. Yes, trying to perpetuate that narrative, like strong black men, angry black men. It was really hurtful, and even to see what Dr. Heavenly said, because I also watched her YouTube. She was the one who said, "Well, this one is like that one. She's a crybaby, and Candice should just, leave." Reality world if it's not working for you. But who are you to tell someone's story and to label them as a crybaby, as if it's bad to show your emotions, and as if it's also bad not to show your emotions? I mean, I'm from Africa, and let me tell you something. That fighting, it happens even amongst us Africans. You don't have to have grown in the ghetto or whatever, but because you are a human, you get hurt, you get triggered, and it has got nothing to do with being ghetto, being a hood rat, or being weak. And I didn't like how it divided the viewers. It just pained me. And it's like, even if we say boycott, and I mean, after your season, me and my sisters, we stopped watching Married to the Medicine. Even the LA one, we stopped.
Oh my goodness. Michelle, thank you so much.
I wish you all the best.
I
love you guys.
You made some amazing points. You have brought up some things that I didn't even think about. We got to change the narrative. We have to be responsible in the way in which we depict people who look like us on television. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go on that show was to show that Black women are not a monolith, that we can be empathetic, we can be catty and messy occasionally, and throw light shade and get into it with each other, but then make up. We can have businesses and be successful and have some that fail. We can be real, but they just weren't ready with me at that point. I think there's about.
And also, I understand that sometimes the productions, they want to promote foolishness. Like, for example, what's her name? That Nigerian lady. She's always. Yes, she's a misrepresentative of Africans. Like, I'm married to a Nigerian, and everything that she does, like, it's not a true representation. And I understand there are some Black Americans who are acting a fool on the television, and when the Europeans or someone who has never encountered a Black experience, when they see that, it's easy to label everyone. They will label every Black person like that. So it's one thing I noticed, Candice is always saying, well, Monique is very careful about her image. Who you are crazy if you don't care about your image. Like, who raised you? Who raised you? I mean, even me, I would have acted the exact same way Monique did, because when I was growing up, I remember my mom used to say, when you go outside of school, when someone hits you and you come home crying, you better tell me that you hit them back. Like, that's how we were raised.
Yeah, I was raised the same way.
And
my mom said the same.
Mouth, you know? Anyway, good night.
Thank you so much.
Here.
We appreciate the love. Tell your sister I said hi and the babies. And I appreciate you for your insightful comments. You're so bright and lovely. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right, Bap, our last person. Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for your patience. I know you've been waiting a long time. I appreciate
it's cool. I just been listening.
So what's going on? What you got for me? How you doing?
I had a question.
Okay.
like full disclosure, I don't dislike any of the people who are currently on Married to Medicine
That's cool.
or anything like that. But I wanted to know, do you even enjoy talking about your experience on that show? You know, is that something that you still want to talk about?
Not really, but I have a lot of fans on TikTok. It's up to 270 some thousand, and I get the question every day, what really happened? And so I thought, well, let me do it on my YouTube and kind of say my perspective, because what people have gotten are just little glimpses and little whatever, because I did kind of subscribe to the, well, if you talk about it, then you look defeated. And I just got to a point in my shadow work and in my therapy where I don't care what people, they can think whatever they want anymore. This is for me. It's part of my mental health journey. It's a part of my healing process from what happened to me. And so, I decided I would answer. And, I'm not going to say that I won't ever talk about, I mean, I get so many people asking me to do interviews and talk about it, and I regularly say no. For people to be like, Buffy's always talking about this. No, not really.
That's why I asked if you enjoyed it, because while I was watching you answer the questions and then I'm looking at the chat, it's like, I don't even think she really wants to talk about that show. No,
I don't. I really don't. But I wanted to I appreciate people who take the time to follow me, whether they like me or not, and ask me a question, and I respect them. Like, I'm somebody that replies. I try to reply to my comments, and people who take the time to watch my content and be a part of this journey that I'm on social media. And so I wanted to answer them. So
there's nothing wrong with that at all. The only other point that I had, or the only other thought that I had, especially after this last season of Potomac, it seems like the reality TV fandoms are getting more and more and more intense. Like you saw it before with Married to Medicine and Team Quad and Team Mariah and all of that. But this Team Candace, Team Monique stuff has gone out of control.
It's
and it's to unhealthy levels,
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's
like
like
this reality TV stuff isn't just quote unquote entertainment anymore. It's like people's passion.
Right. And it's dangerous because, I mean, somebody, you just never know the stuff that they're doing. Somebody, Monique, I applaud her for leaving, because they crossing lines that you can't cross. And
like with Candace on the Housewives of Potomac, the way that she talks on the internet, it is as seriously as people take these shows. Somebody been and found this lady, and tried to physically harm her.
And I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope she heeds the advice to just stay off Twitter and let some people on her team kind of handle all that stuff, because she dealing with stuff. We all are on an emotional journey, and I don't shade her for that, but Twitter ain't the place for it. It just ain't.
These people are not mentally well, some of them, and you can't interact with them the way that she's interacting with people.
People are saying people attack her on social media. They do. They attack us all. They attack my uterus, but I didn't go and tell people I wish they were dead. So the point isn't to make her like she's a bad person. It's giving her advice. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't particularly care for the way Candace has been on this season of the show, or more so, I don't care about her social media, care for her social media presence. But I just wish she would take a look back and realize you were dealing with real people, and some of these real people are not okay.
She needs to really be careful. I agree. I hope she'll learn that. Well, I appreciate you for waiting. I appreciate all y'all. This has been very cathartic for me.
And it's been nice interacting with you out and seeing you outside of Married to Medicine, because Married to Medicine did really kind of make you look crazy.
Oh, I know. I know they did. That was their purpose.
That's what they intended to do. That's what
and
the show wanted.
They succeeded. They did. But looking and being are two different things.
Definitely. It's a show.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day. Everybody, I gotta go. I got a call with a client right now. Y'all going to go over to All About the Tea. They're about to start at 3:00. I won't be on today, but I'm gonna watch the replay after my Zoom with my client. And I just thank all y'all so much for the love and support you show me. And for the people who didn't agree with me, I'm gonna look through these comments later if my team let me. Y'all, thank you so much. Y'all have a good day. I appreciate you. And if you haven't, subscribed, please subscribe and click notifications. Tomorrow we're going to do Tax Tuesday with my sister Courtney and answer all your business and tax questions and provide you with some resources for business funding. Smooches. Bye.
Please crawl before you ball, and then take a little bit of the money and save it, and then do
before
something
you ball. Cause wealth whispers and money jingle jangles and screams.
Buffie Purselle.